63.
63, yeah.
63. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 62.
Damn it.
62 of the Hot Soap Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Nunez, joined here by Mark and Josh. As per usual, Austin would be here, but he's too busy getting women.
That's right.
To be on our first NFL week preview of the year. So,
what a loser.
We'll see him next week, maybe. But yeah, this week on the podcast, the NFL season preview is done. The NFL preseason is behind us, which means that it's time for real, meaningful football starting this week. NFL football. This is where I'm watching the last game of week 1 of college football currently. But otherwise, yeah, it's the Clemson Georgia Tech game.
Yeah.
But otherwise, still zeros. Clemson got an interception on the first Georgia Tech drive of the game, then immediately went 3 and out. So, yeah. Anyways, that's irrelevant, especially because it will have happened yesterday when you're watching this. So today, we're going to be doing our normal NFL shindig. We're going to do trivia. I got a couple trivia questions. We're going to be looking ahead to some of our favorite games this week. Week 1 of the NFL. Lots of interesting stuff going on around the league. We're going to be giving some of our favorite wagers for this upcoming week. We're going to be crafting a little 3-leg hot stove NFL Week 1 parlay together. Each of us provides a leg, just like outside the box score, which is back, by the way, and we'll plug that.
It is back.
But we'll be cooking up a little weekly NFL parlay. Get a little more bets in the show, and then also we will be doing our FanDuel lineups. Those will be returning, so the 3 of us will give those, and hopefully Austin will actually submit his by Thursday. Lord knows that's not a given.
Oh God, no.
But
also, I forgot we were doing free contests now.
Yeah.
And put in money to FanDuel because I was like, all right, I need to, pay for the weekly contest. And I was like, free contest. And son of a bitch.
Yeah, we stopped doing paid ones last year, I think, because Josh kept losing.
Yes, that's exactly.
It's not even losing. It's just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we doing? You want my money? I mean, we're all friends here. What do we got to do with money? What are we doing?
Yeah. Understood. All right. So, yeah, that's it. It's a pretty streamlined episode. So we're going to get started. We're going to do some trivia right off the top here. We got 2 baseball trivia questions. Baseball season coming down the final stretch. And got a couple of trivia questions here worth a total of 7 points. 7 points on the docket today. I'll give you this one first. I want you to give me the top 5 players in baseball history, the history of the sport, in World Series OPS.
Derek Jeter.
No.
Reggie Jackson.
Yep. That is one of them. They don't call him Mr. October for nothing.
Yogi Berra.
Nope.
Mickey Mantle.
Nope.
Just gonna go through all of the Yankees that played in a million World Series. Bernie? Was Bernie that good in the World Series?
Nope.
Maybe it's better to not go to so many. Maybe
it's just that's where the most possible answers are.
Yeah.
Well, highest OPS, right? That's what we're talking
highest about. OPS in World Series history.
Is this like just no minimum 1 World Series?
I guess you had to have been a qualified batter in those games, so like at least 3 plate appearances per game or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hideki Matsui.
No, that's a good guess though.
That is a good guess. Oh, see now David Ortiz.
David Ortiz is correct.
Yeah. He might be number 1. Is he?
I don't have them ranked. I don't have them in order.
Yeah, he might be number 1. I'm trying to think of
Buster Posey.
No, I'll give you this. 2 of them are old farts, both dead. Some would say, and the other one is a current player.
Jorge Soler.
No, Not a Jorge Soler. I assume you have to play in like more than one World Series to qualify.
Okay,
Otherwise,
that's
yeah,
sort of what I
Jorge
was
Soler
wondering.
would be at like number one.
Yeah.
Cody Bellinger,
Nope.
Mookie Betts.
Nope.
Mookie's a good guess. I'm trying to think of the old.
This was a good guess.
Shoeless
category,
Joe
then I'd be-
Jackson.
It's not Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Say hey kid, Willie Mays.
Nope.
I don't think he might have won one World Series with the Giants, but they didn't really play in many. Duke Snyder?
No, it's not Duke Snyder.
Stan Musial.
Nope. Think older than that.
Babe
Think
Ruth.
older than Stan?
Babe Ruth is one of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Lou Gehrig.
And Lou Gehrig is the other one.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other two
Yeah.
old band.
Yeah,
The only two old Yankees you didn't name.
Yeah, the 27 Yankees probably should have started there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tossed out Yogi Berra before I tossed out Ruth and Gehrig. Christ almighty.
One more current player.
Yep, we got a current player.
Oh, what the hell? My camera went out. Oh, there we go. Okay.
You're back, don't worry.
Um,
Player. Has won a World Series. Has been to multiple.
Albert Pujols.
Nope.
And he's also won multiple.
It's a good guess, honestly.
Brandon Crawford.
No.
I don't
Still
hate that
stuck on those
guess.
Giants teams. Into multiple.
More recently than those Giants teams.
He's been in multiple World Series.
So within the last decade.
Is it Xander?
Nope.
Oh, what Juan Soto?
Nope.
He's only been to one.
Yeah,
Salvador Perez?
Not Salvador Perez.
Eric Hosmer?
Not Eric Hosmer.
It's leading me to believe it's not a Royal.
It's not Mike Moustakas. It's not Alex Gordon. It's not
Lorenzo Cain either.
Not Lorenzo Cain. It's not. Yeah. It's none of those guys.
I was trying to think of teams that have been to multiple World Series.
Justin Turner.
Good guess, but incorrect. I will say that this player is no longer on the team that he went to multiple World Series with.
Corey Seager.
No,
Yeah.
that is a really good guess.
Oh, I immediately thought you were correct.
No, yeah.
Kike?
Nope. I can't give you the year, otherwise it'll give it away.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For Mark, undoubtedly it would. You kidding me? You could
Josh,
give
I would
me
give
the
it
year.
away for you too. It's within the last.
I was gonna say if it's more
However
recent.
years.
If it's more recent than the Giants, that was 2014. That's why I was thinking Royals.
Jason Hayward.
No.
He's been to two, hasn't he?
No,
Oh,
just
no.
one.
I'm thinking just a couple. Okay.
Yeah.
Francisco Lindor.
No.
They only went to one.
Jesus.
Who the hell's been? I'm like, there's like 3 World Series in my mind that I'm just blanking on right now. So that's great.
I'll have to look up his stats real quick. But if I remember correctly, he had in one of those multiple World Series events, he had one of the best World Series in baseball history.
Wait. He's not on the team that he won it with?
Correct.
Trey Turner?
No. He's not on the team that he went to. He went to both World Series on the same team. He's not on that team anymore.
Gotcha.
But yes, I mean Trey Turner's a good guess too.
Did the Dodgers trade somebody, Mark?
Oh my God. Carlos Correa?
No.
George Springer.
George Springer.
Okay.
Correct.
How did we not go on an Astros run?
Yeah, I was completely forgetting that the Astros went to multiple World Series. They were the ones I was blanking on. I was like, who's the other team that I'm missing?
Yeah, and that series I'm referring to is the 2017 World Series.
Yeah, he won World Series MVP.
He won World Series MVP, hit 379 with 5 home runs.
Yeah.
In the 7-game series. George Springer is the 5th out of those. So, yeah, Babe, Gehrig, Springer, Ortiz, and Reggie Jackson are the top 5 in World Series OPS. This one, interesting question for you. I'll give you this. There are only 2 players in Pittsburgh Pirates history with 100 home runs and 200 stolen bases. Who are those 2 players?
First guess is Kutch, but I don't think he got there stolen bases wise.
Nope.
Show me Honus Wagner.
No and no. One of them is retired. One of them is current.
Pedro Alvarez.
No.
Starling Marte.
Starling Marte is the current player. Yes.
And
Walker, Neil Walker.
The Walkman. No, it is not.
It's a good guess, but he didn't steal that many. 100 and 200.
Yep.
Dave Parker?
Nope.
The Starman wasn't stealing like that, was he? Willie Stargell?
No, he was not.
Okay, I didn't think so.
I'll give you this. In his career with the Pittsburgh Pirates, this player hit 176 home runs and stole 251 bases.
Wow.
A good career.
Yeah, good player, apparently.
Was that all with, well, I guess you can't say.
Well, yeah, that's just his career with the Pirates.
Yeah.
Yes, that is just his career with the Pirates. Yep.
Okay.
Only roughly a third of his professional baseball career.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, it's fucking Barry Bonds. Jesus Christ.
It is Barry Bonds, yes. Barry Bonds and Starling Marte are the only 2 players in Pittsburgh Pirates history with 100 and 200. Now, some
with that.
I don't know. Some would know that after Barry Bonds won 3 MVPs in 7 years, 2 MVPs in 7 years with the Pirates, he would then go on to hit another 586 home runs and steal another 260 bases after leaving Pittsburgh. But he was a runner for those years with the Giants. With the Pirates.
Just random nonsense. I saw people on Twitter arguing earlier. So Aaron Judge could become the first player ever this year to hit 60 home runs and steal 20 bases. And someone was like, "No, Bonds did it." And
Bonds, matter of factly, did not do it.
No, he did not. And someone responded, "No, he didn't." He was like, "Yeah, I remember him doing it." He's like, "No, you're wrong. The year he hit 73, he stole like 12 bases." He's like, no, it wasn't that year. Another year he hit 60 home runs. They were like, he never hit 60 home runs again.
And he never hit more than 50 home runs that season.
Yeah. Actually. This dude just refused to be wrong about this thing he was entirely wrong about. It was amazing.
That's hilarious. Starling Marte, just for the record, in his career in his 8 years with Pittsburgh, he hit 108 home runs and stole 239 bases. So There you go. Those 2. And that does it for trivia this week. I got more in the chamber, so we will certainly have more trivia. Got a couple of 2 actually Marlins related trivia questions that I'm just saving the flavor on.
Just wait.
Yeah, I actually have a third. I forgot to write it down.
A lot of Marlins trivia on the way. That's what the people come here for. The people watch this show for Nunez being a closet Marlins fan over a Yankee fan.
All right. Well, actually, fuck it. I'll ask it right now. The one I forgot to write down.
Miguel Cabrera.
No. There is only one outfielder and I already told you it's Marlins themed. So this narrows it down a little bit to the last 25 years or whatever. Almost 30. There's only one outfielder in Major League history who's played all 162 games in a season and not committed a single error.
Juan Pierre.
Correct. It's Juan Pierre in 2006.
That's my guy.
Love me some Juan Pierre.
Yeah. Juan Pierre. My first hint was that Juan Pierre is the only hitter ever with over 2,000 career hits to never be selected to an All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
It's
good player.
Robbed.
Yeah. So yeah, Juan Pierre.
His career OPS plus is like 78 somehow.
Let's take a look.
Is that
Let's
good?
take a look here.
No,
it's at Juan Pierre's baseball reference page.
No, it's
Put up
very
here,
bad.
people. This is what we're looking at here. Career 295 hitter. He has a career OPS plus of 84.
Yeah. For a guy with 2,200 hits and a 295 average. Was he ever league average? Twice.
Yeah, twice. This is guy who's the definition of slap hitter.
Yeah.
He has 68 stolen base. What is his high? 65?
68 is his high.
Oh my God.
In 2010 with the White Sox.
Yep.
For him and Billy Hamilton on that team, I'm kidding. Billy Hamilton didn't play with the White Sox until like
14.
last year.
Look at that. Look at that lineup. Przinsky, Konerko,
Manny Ramirez.
Manny
Oh my
coming off
God.
the bench. That was right before he got popped for his third drug test, I think.
Mark Teran? Mark
Yeah.
Teran or whatever?
Tian.
Isn't he? Wasn't he a
Jake Peavy.
I don't know, I'm thinking about Travis Hefner.
Yeah.
Don't ask me.
Peavy, John Danks when he was still pretty good.
Edwin Jackson.
Edwin Jackson on his 43rd major league team.
Was
JJ
this team any good?
Putz.
How many games they win?
88.
Yeah.
That's the most White Sox season ever.
Well, the most White Sox season ever is going.
It was
81
500.
and 81.
Actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing that they're somehow 500 after all of these years.
Dude, they're 500 in the last like 125 years or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's amazing that they're 500 over the course of their
existence.
It goes based on the season, so they might be like 2 games below now or whatever it is. Like,
Yeah. They were 100 or 500 in the first half of the season. If they're 500 currently, they've been 500 the second half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look at it right now. But first, we'll pass it over to you guys. Give me some reads. What are some of your? Give me one of your favorite games, one of your favorite storylines you're looking forward to this week of NFL action here in Week 1. Josh, why don't we start with you? What are you looking at? And by the way, before I interject or before Josh starts, the White Sox are currently 67-67, so they still have 100 on the season.
I never want the White Sox to finish the season not at 500.
Yeah. But anyways, Josh, we'll start with you. What are you looking forward to in Week 1 of the NFL?
Sure. What I'm looking forward to is the first revenge game of the season. And that'll be in Carolina this weekend. And that's when Baker gets a chance to stick it to the Browns. And I'm very excited. I'm very high on Baker this year. I'm happy with what Carolina can do. I'm excited to bring in Laviska Shenault, get you humped up with him and DJ Moore. C-Mac is a god. I'm still all in on C-Mac. He would have been my 1-1, like drafted overall in any fantasy league. Well, PPR format, obviously, I guess. But I'm in. I'm in on the Panthers, and I'm in on Baker Mayfield Week 1.
Yeah, we know you're in on the Panthers from last week. My favorite thing about this so far is that the Baker Mayfield quote that somehow wasn't from Ballsack Sports when he said, quote, "I'm going to fuck them up," about playing the Browns in Week 1.
And then he disputed it. He was like, no, I didn't say that. Roll with it, man. Even if you didn't, people want to hear that.
Yeah.
Right.
People like Baker.
Get angry.
Some people like Baker. Yeah.
I like Baker.
I like Baker.
I like Baker.
I'm excited for that game. I'm excited for the other revenge games that are going to be happening in Week 1. Monday Night Football. Russ versus the Seahawks, man.
Yeah.
That's a revenge game. What's the other one? There's a third one, right?
Those are the big 2.
Well, depends on what happens with the Jets. We might be getting the Joe Flacco revenge game.
Oh no, we
against the
will be.
Ravens.
Yes.
Robert Saleh said today that Zach Wilson might still play on Sunday.
Oh
Mhm.
really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
wow.
And he'll announce it on Wednesday.
Yep. Speaking of, the Steelers just announced today that Mitchell Trubisky will be starting week 1 for them this year. Mike Tomlin was non-committal at practice today, and then the team put out their first official depth chart of the season, and Trubisky was QB1 on it.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. The titty kisser is going to be taking snaps under center this Sunday against I don't remember who they're playing.
The Bengals.
Yeah, the Bengals.
The Bungles. Yeah.
One of the great tweets of all time. God, I love that tweet.
I just probably would do me well to like pull up the schedule so I can remember things.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, what about you? What are you looking forward to this week?
Well, outside of all the revenge games, I'm looking forward to a potential Super Bowl matchup, the first game of the season. Thursday night football, Rams, Bills, just immediately, like, yeah, let's throw one of the best games we got at you. That's how the kickoff game should be. This is going to be a shootout. I love it.
The NFL usually tries to do that. Usually, they try to make these games like as big as possible. They don't quite always go the way. I mean, remember the Atlanta-Philadelphia game from 2018?
Oh yeah, I remember.
The game was kind of a snoozer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was bad.
But yeah, I mean, Thursday Night Showcase. It's going to be on NBC. The new, although not that new, because Tarico's been trying out for a while now. The new Sunday Night Football duo is going to be on prime time twice this week.
Did Al Michaels finally die?
No, he went to Amazon to do Thursday Night Football.
Him and Herb Street.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Josh,
I don't know if you've been paying attention to all of the broadcaster movement this offseason. I know. Unfortunately was in school for sports journalism, so I did have to pay attention to all this shit. So we've established some new crews here. NBC's crew, Sunday Night Football, will be Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth. Thursday Night Football on Prime Video is going to be Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit.
Is that with Dude Perfect as well, right?
I don't know. I don't know anything about Dude Perfect doing.
They have an alternative broadcast for Amazon.
That sounds awful.
I will not be watching.
Yeah, I think we can manage to be done with all of the alternative broadcasts.
Manningcast is the only good one.
Yeah. Did you see that ESPN had the Gronkowski brothers doing an alt broadcast to the last UFC pay-per-view?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Shocker. Neither did I.
Yeah.
What else? And then Buck and Aikman left Fox.
They're doing ESPN now.
They're with ESPN now. So
Cowboys
I don't know who
gonna
the Fox team is going to be. That's
It's-
like the big.
Daryl
It's Joe
Johnson,
Davis.
right?
I'm pretty sure Joe Davis is taking Buck's spot, and I forget who his color guy is.
It better be Greg Olson because that man is really good at his job.
I'll look.
I thought it's Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson.
Oh, is it Burkhardt?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Joe Davis is taking the World Series. Davis will do occasional games. That's the second crew is Joe Davis and Daryl Johnston.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
And then it's Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson for the A team.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good duo.
Didn't Olson do it a couple years ago and everyone hated it?
No,
Yeah,
Greg
but
Olson's fantastic.
He's been doing it for a while.
No, I'm thinking of the other tight end, the
Jason
Cowboy.
Witten.
Jason Witten. Yeah, he was horrible.
Yeah, he was
The
not
other
good.
tight end. He was
I
horrible.
couldn't think of his name for a second. I hate Jason Witten. Fuck
The
that.
other tight
bastard.
end.
The other tight end. Bitch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to a few different things this week. Because of course I'm nothing if not a qualifying whore. So I'm gonna take this prompt that I gave and give multiple answers for it.
Of course.
So I'm looking forward to a couple of
Get
things.
that.
I'm looking forward to some of my favorite matchups this week. Philadelphia and Detroit, the 1 o'clock window on Sunday. We
Gonna
get
be
to
a fun
see
one.
the Lions are finally got the Hard Knocks boost. People liking them. We'll see if their roster is actually good. It'll be a good test for a couple crucial parts of their roster, specifically their offense, specifically their offensive line, which projects to be one of the best in football this year. And on the other end, for the Eagles, it'll be a test of a couple of things as well. Again, their offensive line in particular, which projects to be one of the best in the NFL. But this Detroit defensive line is easily the best part of their defense. So it'll be a good time for both offenses to come out and show whatever new looks they're given, which no shit. But I do think that we'll see a little bit of, if either of these teams are going to be particularly outstanding relative to expectation, I don't expect the Lions to actually be good.
Yeah, but I can see them winning 7 games.
But I feel like if we're going to find out that either of these teams, if either of these teams are going to have like a best case scenario outcome this season, we could find out week 1. Like if the Eagles come out and blow the doors off the Lions, for example, that should be taken as a good sign for the Eagles this season.
Yeah.
And similarly for the Lions, if the Lions come out and win this game, the Lions got some pretty feisty prospects coming into the season. Clemson just blocked a punt, and they're scoring. Oh, he didn't score. Never mind.
Good.
I got money on Clemson. Sorry. So I'm looking forward to that matchup. I'm looking forward to the Raiders and the Chargers, the rematch of the Tank Bowl that should have happened in Week 18 last year. Both teams have new look sides that are going to be going against each other, the Raiders offense and the Chargers defense. I'm terrified of that Raiders offensive line, but they have so many weapons that it might not matter. That game should be a lot of fun.
Do
and then
we know why they hate Josh Jacobs, by the way?
Why they hate him?
Yeah.
No clue.
What do you mean, why do they hate him?
Like, all the
Why
stuff
is he
coming
getting-
out of like the Raiders trading camp was like Josh Jacobs is getting like 3rd team reps. He might not be RB1. Like, why?
No,
They're Antonio
I mean,
Gibson in
as
him.
far as I know, he is unquestionably RB1. Whether or not Zamir White is going to take over for him is kind of, it's almost a moot point. I mean, Zamir White isn't a pass catcher. Is more like a plotting back. So I don't know. It would take some pretty poopy performances from Josh Jacobs to lose his job. Personally, but then I'm looking forward to the Sunday night game, Tampa Bay and Dallas. Does Brady have a soul?
Who is it?
We'll find out. I don't know. Can the Dallas offensive line, which is now held together by Band-Aids and stickers, can they block? It's the same thing with the Tampa Bay offensive line. Easily, no question, the best part of the Dallas defense is their defensive line, and the Bucs are projected to be without 3 starters on the offensive line coming into the season. So, like,
aren't 2 of them out for the season already?
Yeah, Jensen and Wirfs might be, right?
Yeah. I'll look that up because I don't want to get it wrong.
By the way, the fact that Jason Peters is now going to play for the Cowboys makes me incredibly sad.
You're wearing a
hate him.
Bill shirt.
That's
Yeah,
true.
but people know I'm an Eagles fan. It goes with the shorts. I just needed a shirt that looked okay with the shorts.
I'll tell you, it's soft.
They're going to be
soft.
without Aaron Stinney, who's one of their starting guards.
Nice.
Who towards ACL, and then Ryan Jensen is on injured reserve. Tristan Wirfs is out. Yeah. So both of these teams, I think it'll be interesting from the perspective of their offensive lines and how they can protect anyone.
Mhm.
I think
we will see.
I think that game has potential for breakout candidate. Put the world on notice. Sunday night, prime time.
Don't
Dallas.
say it.
Dallas needing a hero. And who else but number 85? No, Brown.
Okay, I didn't know who that was. That's why.
It was always Noah Brown.
From
the man
the-
that he insisted was good for 5 weeks last season, and he never was.
I've been calling on Noah Brown for years.
It's true.
Noah Brown.
That's true.
Great blocker. Great blocker. Great tenacity.
You guys have anything else that you find particularly interesting, or do we want to move on to some betting?
The battle of the presumably bad second-year quarterbacks and 49ers Bears.
Since when are either of them presumably bad?
No,
he's joshing me here.
I think Fields is going to be better than Trey Lance. I don't think Trey Lance is very good. But I think it will be interesting to see how the young quarterbacks handle starting week 1 for their respective teams. I think that'll be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, it'll be a football game for sure. And I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look at it right now, see if they have any good props for that game, because whatever it is, can we have a team rushing total prop? Is that a thing that we can do?
I was gonna say they got a great prop, and it's Niners -7. That's a good prop. I like.
Yeah. But if I could find over team rushing yards, the Niners might run for 300 yards on this. This Bears run defense should be a sieve.
I'm not seeing any in the team
neither am I.
props.
Alrighty. Oh well. Let's see. Yeah. So I don't know. Week 1 should be fun. Yeah. Next week we'll have more stuff to react to, so maybe it'll be a little bit longer an episode there. But let's get into some betting content, gentlemen.
Betting.
I don't know if you guys have anything written down. I haven't done too much research myself, so I'm kind of just like looking at general lines here. That's usually saved for later in the week for me. But if you guys have any props, any games that you're looking at targeting, feel free to spit them out.
I've got some props. As we know, I am the sucker for player props. And why was I just logged out of DraftKings that I am actively using? God damn it. Give me a second here. There we go.
All good.
I've got some player props that I am a big fan of. First one in Bills Rams. Von Miller total sacks over 0.75. So to get a sack, basically. It's a revenge game for Mr. Miller. Everyone knows his long and storied career with the LA Rams. Decades in the Rams organization, came up through the practice squad. Everyone knows it. No, but he's going up against
decades, multiple.
He's been in the league 40 years, all with the LA Rams. We all know it.
Yeah.
But legitimately, it's plus 165. I like him to, get to Stafford. Stafford already not the most mobile guy. So more prone to sacks than that reason. But he's a little bit of a wounded duck out there. I know it's his elbow and not his leg, but still a little bit of a wounded duck. We're not sure what Stafford's going to look like. I like Von Miller in his first game with his new team to get a sack on his old QB. I think that's a fun one. I also like Gabe Davis to score a touchdown in that game. I want to say that's plus 140. And another anytime touchdown scorer, I like Kyle Pitts to score a touchdown against the Saints. That's plus 185.
Okay. I'm looking at a couple of general lines here that jump out to me off the rip. Okay. Let me hear it if you like these ones. Chicago, San Francisco, under 41.
Love it.
This is the Bears offense that, especially with their offensive line problems going up against arguably the best defense in the NFL, probably will have issues scoring. I just had to take a guess. Bundle in, possible first week, still pretty much rookie performance from Trey Young. From Trey Lance. He played 2 games last year. This is still very much Trey Lance's rookie season. Under 41 jumps out to me immediately when I'm looking at these lines right there. That's something I will definitely be having money on myself. Another one in the 1 p.m. window. If you wanted to play it safe, take the spread. But I like Jacksonville outright plus 140 at the Washington Commanders. In particular, Jacksonville going up against this beat up Washington defense that already wasn't very good in the first place, but they'll still be without Chase Young. I'm thinking we're seeing the Trevor Lawrence potential game in week 1, which they come out, they got all the new weapons firing. Big Brain Doug is week 1, so he's like got all the fancy tricks that he's surely going to use over and over again for the next.
They're going to go for it on 4th down so many times. They're not going to punt a single time.
And the most impressive part about this Jacksonville defense is their defensive line. The defensive line has a lot of great potential this year with the ability for Trayvon Walker to kind of unlock things for the other guys on the line there. Going up against a Washington offensive line that is not good, honestly.
Yeah, I think
so. Again, if you wanted to be conservative, I would say Jacksonville plus 3, but I like them straight up.
I think now that I had bet for a while in NFL football, and I think that what I've learned is that you look at the most oblivious line, like the most outrageous one, and you take the opposite. Jacksonville plus 3, it's got to be the most public play of the weekend. I'd go all over the Commanders. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm in on it.
This is something you would believe in if you believe in like superstitions and whatnot.
No, they're also the favorite. They're also just the favorite. I mean,
no, I understand that, but like taking the opposite just because the public is on one thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, you got to believe in gambling, and then that. People are rigging this stuff at some point. But anyways, I'm thinking it's Washington. I actually, on paper, what the explanation would be is that it is too early in Jacksonville and that ETN's back and Doug's there and this, but that it's not quite together yet would be the
right.
The
but like that's also assuming that Washington is going to be fielding a competent product.
That's fair.
I don't necessarily think they will.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, is Jahan Dotson and Carson Wentz, are they the immediate fixtures? Who knows? Do you trust Ron Rivera? Do you trust Ron Rivera to coach his team up a little bit more than Doug Peterson? Probably.
Not offensively. That's fair.
That's
damn sure.
That's fair.
And then the third one that jumps out, and I'm going to say it right now, this is my pick for the hot stove parlay. Kansas City minus 4.5 at the Arizona Cardinals. This line is almost guaranteed to move when we hear about injury situations regarding Zach Ertz and Rondale Moore, who are both, I would say, from what I've heard, on the wrong side of questionable to play in this game. If they're out, I assume that the line moves to over a touchdown. I'm gonna take a guess that it probably moves a couple more points. I'm no odds maker or anything, and I already think that Kansas City is the better team by a good margin. So to me, that's another one of those ones that I was scrolling it while Mark was talking, and I went, that one. That's the one I like. So yeah, Kansas City minus 4.5 is looking like my favorite play of the week, personally.
Only thing that scares me about that one, and I do like it, is first half Kyler, first half Cliff Kingsbury.
Ice Snoops. Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I have zero problem taking the Chiefs in that bet. The only thing that scares me just a touch is the Cardinals are usually really, really good, no matter what, the first few weeks of the season.
Right, and I think I just closed DraftKings on accident. I think what offsets that for me is the fact that Marquise Brown might be their only pass catcher.
True.
Marquise Brown, and who was the rookie tight end they drafted? That guy.
Greg
Dulcich.
Yeah.
So we have that possibility. Josh is hitting the stop button on something.
Sorry. Yeah, it's supposed to be it's a square.
Okay. Oh, you're calling me a square?
What's the play? KC covers. No, I think it's actually at the 4 is actually a really smart play.
Yeah.
Getting it in before the line movement. I like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Josh is gonna call me a square for taking that win, asshole. It's like, oh, you're doing smart things. Square. Ah, crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What the hell is wrong with you?
It's like the Vogue video. Square.
Yeah.
Square. Exactly. Josh, what do you got? What are your sharp plays of the week? If I'm so square, what's the sharp like you got for week?
Well, Nunez, I legitimately was going to say Washington -3 for that. I kind of like San Francisco also to cover the big. I think the big number scares people a lot of the time. It's like, ooh, that's a touchdown. Who knows? But like we've talked about it, the Bears probably shouldn't be that good. And I mean, to think that the Niners can win by a touchdown is pretty reasonable in my mind.
Yeah.
Going down the board again. A lot of divisional games in week 1 always scare me. Something about the Steelers. Mike Tomlin as a road dog is really good at covering at least. He wins outright in most of those games too. I'm not saying the Steelers upset the Bengals week 1, but if you buy the half a point, you get the touchdown. Yeah, you buy the half a point, you get the touchdown. I don't hate that.
Yeah.
This one's where I'll kind of ride public as well, but Miami -3. That one seems like it might be ripe for the taking or parlay into
Bill
money line or
Belichick
something.
hasn't won in Miami in like 6 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then my pick for the parlay would be Sunday night in LA. It's my Super Bowl champions. They're walking in there with the 3.5, and it's the Raiders. That's who it is. It's got to be plus 3.5. I think that. I mean, they. Not to spoil anything, but Devontae Adams and Derek Carr is my stack of the week. I think they're just gonna show up and just put everyone on the map that like Vegas, we're legit this year. This is our time, and just kind of keep it in. So I like the Raiders plus 3.5 on Sunday night.
All right. Well, that is not the Sunday night game. It's a Sunday afternoon game. But
yeah.
Oh yeah, we're the Sunday night game. It's just the last one on the thing.
Yeah. Mark, what is your, now that we're talking about, what's your pick for the hot stove parlay? I'll show my screen here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go with one of my props. I am gonna take a spread, and call me a homer if you want, but I'm gonna take the Eagles -4. I do think they show up in this one, and I think for a team that, they're on Hard Knocks. People are high on the Lions right now, but going against a legitimate Super Bowl contender, I feel like 4 is just not enough points. So I will gladly take the Eagles -4 on that one.
Are we sponsored by DraftKings?
Sponsored by DraftKings. DraftKings is the official betting sponsor of the Hot Stove Podcast. So this is what we're looking at here: Chiefs -4.5, Raiders plus 3.5, and Eagles -4. For me, comes out to plus 611.
Yep.
I'll be throwing a tenner on it. Can't do it on my computer because for some reason it can't verify my location.
I just asked Austin to see if he's got a parlay piece for Sunday.
Yeah. We will come back to that. See if Austin has anything for it. And then we will add to that elsewhere. But in the meantime, let's take a look ahead to daily fantasy sports for this week. It's a staple of the Hot Stove. We've been doing it for, I think this is our 3rd year doing it now.
Yeah, I mean, we did it on radio.
Yeah. So it's our 4th year doing it, some would say. Yeah, man. It's time to get in FanDuel. Back to FanDuel, not the official betting sponsor of Hot Stove.
The official daily fantasy sponsor of Hot Stove.
That's right.
Exactly. Mark, why don't you start with your FanDuel lineup for week 1?
Well, I know Josh is going to kind of hate this stack because it involves his favorite quarterback, Dak Prescott. But I'm stacking Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. They're 7,600 apiece. I thought that was pretty good value. My 2 running backs, I've got Travis Etienne and Melvin Gordon. They were each 6,200. I know Etienne is basically play. Did he play at all last year? Did he?
Etienne? No, he tore his ACL in training camp.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. So he's making his NFL debut. Melvin Gordon, I just like him to find the end zone against a really bad Seattle team. I mean, same with Washington. They're not good either. My other 2 receivers, I have Devonta Smith, who is only 6,100. I was kind of surprised when I saw that price for him. And Keenan Allen at 7,400. Tight end, Dawson Knox, 55. My flex is Austin Eckler. That's where I went big, 9,400 for Eckler. And my defense is the Chargers defense, who I think very well could be the best defense in football, and they're only 4,000 this week.
Josh, what about you?
All right, for the Starbucks stinky poo-poo lineup of the week,
I forgot about our endorsements.
I forgot about
That's
our
right.
endorsements as well.
I always start defense first. You gotta get what the people want. You go cheap defense. It's a 3,100 Detroit Lions defense against Philadelphia. For some reason, I can't see a lot of scoring there. I know you'd think a lot. I don't know. Just something weird in my head where I'm thinking close game, whatever. Who cares? And honestly, defense, I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
Right. So
that's the important thing to remember is that defense.
it does not. My running backs, I'm embracing a new strategy for FanDuel this year. Who's going to score touchdowns? That's normally what you should do anyways, probably. But I'm just really thinking who's finding the end zone. Derrick Henry, number one. He's my big money tag. I think they just run all over the Giants because they're going to need to, because I think their passing offense stinks.
Well, it's not even that they're going to need to run, is that they'll be able to, because their defense projects to still be kind of good, even without Harold Landry, and the Giants' defense sucks. So
yeah,
if they can build an early lead, they'll just be running the entire second half.
Yeah.
Sure. Yep. Yeah. So I love Henry. Also, guy who I think is fine in the end zone is a guy whose owner has said the entire offense runs through this guy, Ezekiel Elliott. No matter what I think long-term fantasy value, this week I think he's a really good option to find the end zone. I probably just like a 60 yards, but I think he's in the end zone, so I'll take my 12 and move on. The stack this week, I said it already, Derek Carr and Davante Adams. Davante Adams is putting his name in the ringer. He's like, I'm back. I don't need Aaron Rodgers. I am the guy. I'm the attraction. Derek Carr obviously got to prove himself as the quarterback in that division. I mean, for some people, I guess, who think that he's, the odd man out in that foursome. In terms of guys who get in the end zone, again, wide receiver, Allen Robinson, a guy who probably was just forgotten. I mean, he just took a gap year in his career basically last year. I feel like he's not looking to. He's looking to figure it out again in LA. So hopefully OBJ did well in that role last year. Hope this will help him out as well. DJ Moore, 6,400 for DJ Moore. I'll take that every week. Baker Mayfield gets to throw to someone who can catch the ball and vice versa. They're gonna be. I mean, they got to be ecstatic to have someone as talented as that on each side of the ball to each other. And then finally for tight end, I got my flex too. For tight end, this guy will never be $6,000 or lower again in any week. It's Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is going to be a high money priority, I think, in DFS the entire year. So 6,000 for him week one, I'll take it every time. And then the flex, I debated between Chase Edmonds and this guy. And I think this guy just has more touchdown value, because if Chase Edmonds just gets outrun by Mostert that week, they just won't put him in the game in my mind. So it's Christian Kirk from Jacksonville. I think he has big play potential. And I think that without Shenault, especially now with the guys they brought in, that Trevor Lawrence is going to want to light him up. Money talks. So give that $84 million man the ball.
Well, my favorite thing about Christian Kirk, and the reason I've drafted him in almost every fantasy league that I'm in this year, is that I know it's small sample, but during the preseason when they played together, Trevor Lawrence, almost 40% of his targets went to Christian Kirk. He is looking at guy, throwing at guy. It's the same thing that Matt Ryan is doing with Michael Pittman. And it's the same thing that the Jets quarterbacks are doing with Elijah Moore. They're see guy, throw at guy. So those are my three of my favorite, like, big target leap guys. It's the same thing that Russell Wilson is doing with Cortland Sutton, from what I've heard from Broncos camp. Is that their rapport is really quick and heavy, which makes me wonder why I don't have a Broncos stack on Monday Night Football, but that's beside the point, because that's not what I ran with, and I'm not going to change it now. So we're going to go with our big game stack this week, and you know how I do it: double stack and run it back, a game that you think could probably run up the score a little bit in this slate. Now, I don't think this will be the highest scoring game of the week. I will say that this is for cash lineups. This isn't my tournament lineup for the week, so I'm not going too crazy in terms of some of the stars and scrubs things that I would normally do in a tournament. But my cash game lineup for this week, we're going to go to the Twin Cities. We're going to go to Minnesota, where the Green Bay Packers will be on the road taking on the Minnesota Vikings. So my main stack for the game is going to be Aaron Rodgers. And we're going to give him two of his biggest weapons, one being Aaron Jones out of the backfield, and the other one being the only other receiver that is 100% healthy at the moment, that he has said a single good thing about this offseason. That's Romeo Doubs.
Mm-hmm.
Allen Lazard was originally in my lineup, but I had to change it because I got scared. I said he apparently today was running on the side with an undisclosed injury at practice, and Matt LaFleur was, quote, non-committal about his status for Sunday. So we'll see what happens when the first injury report comes on Wednesday. But in the meantime, especially if Allen Lazard is out, Romeo Doubs is now wide receiver 1 for the Green Bay Packers. And at $5,000 on FanDuel, I'll take that. Off it. We're going to run it back with Adam Thielen attacking the weak side corner, Rasul Douglas in Green Bay. A lot of attention is, of course, going to be on Justin Jefferson. Adam Thielen, to me, strikes as a little bit better of a cash play in a half PPR format like this, especially as a guy who catches a lot of touchdowns, should be one of the bigger red zone threats in the NFL continuing this year. So I like that, running that back with Adam Thielen. Then we've got our secondary game stack. Always do 2 players from another game, projected on their high total. I don't know if this total is going to be high, but I do like the situation for both. And we're going to go with the Indianapolis and Houston game this Sunday. And we're going to take a receiver and a tight end from that game. Receiver is going to be Nico Collins. No one has said a bad word about Nico Collins this offseason. He looks to be the clear number 2 option in Houston. And with a Houston team that projects to throw a lot because they're not going to be very good, and Stephon Gilmore covering the other side of the field than Brandon Cooks, Nico Collins should have some good chances to be able to flex what he's been showing this offseason. We're going to run it back with who is arguably going to be the red zone target for the Indianapolis Colts this year, and that's tight end 1, Mo Alie-Cox, former college basketball player Mo Alie-Cox at a VCU.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to that VCU team. Big body. I think he's like 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, he is big.
Athletic freak, and we know Matt Ryan doesn't like throwing to his receivers in the end zone. So maybe he'll like throwing to his tight ends. And at 4,800, I'm just hoping he gets in to the end zone. I think he can do that in a game in which Indianapolis should win and should be able to put up some good points. 2 more spots left. Running back and flex. Both of those are being taken up by running backs. One is going to be Austin Eckler against the Raiders. The Raiders' run defense. The Raiders' defense in general scares me. I don't think they're very good. And Austin Eckler still projects to be the focal point of what should be one of the best offenses in the NFL. My flex spot is going to be taken up with the return of the King. Assuming he can make it out of this game healthy, there's no reason he should be the 3rd highest priced running back on FanDuel, and that's Christian McCaffrey at 9,500. Again, it's not a question of talent. I remind you, Jonathan Taylor was running back 1 last year and had the lowest points per game average of any RB1 in the last 8 seasons in fantasy. Wow. If both of these two players are playing the entire season, it will not be close. Period. The last 2 full seasons that McCaffrey has played, he has been more than 4 fantasy points a game better than RB2. There's a massive difference.
Mm-hmm.
So assuming Christian McCaffrey plays and he's not the number 1 running back by far, you plug him into every cash game you play every week. Just keep putting him in there and you will keep cashing. I promise that. And that left me with the money to be able to take the 3rd highest salary defense on the slate this week, which is not something I normally do, but it's a great matchup. The revamped, finally healthy Baltimore Ravens defense going up against potential Joe Flacco, potential Mike White, ? And the New York Jets. I like that.
It would be Flacco, but
Flacco might even be a better situation. because he's just going to air it out. Mike White might be able to make like the occasional competent throw, but Joe Flacco is really going to do the fuck it, my guy's out there somewhere thing, just every single play. So
Elijah Moore's in triple coverage. I can get it through that.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I was elite 8 years ago.
My man Balls from Western Kentucky.
I'm sorry, I was elite
round
a decade ago. You know, shit.
Still wasn't.
Josh, did Austin give a pick?
No.
Okay.
No, he did not.
Okay. So
no lineup, no pick.
That does it for our FanDuel lineups for the week. And that does it for our week 1 preview. Unsurprisingly, when we got to FanDuel, I started rambling again. And here we are pushing up on an hour, but we're going to get under an hour this time. We got some time for plugs at the end of the episode because I forgot to do them at the top. So thank you for watching. First of all, we love you. And we will be back next week, of course. But before, don't click away yet. Before we're done here, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Hot Stove Pod. Hit the follow button. Make sure to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and smash the notification bell so you know when we put out more fire content. Now, Mark, speaking of fire content.
Yes, sir.
You make some content.
I do make some content.
That could be considered fire.
Indeed.
And you have a couple of important things coming up.
I do.
So if you'd like to let the people know, let the people know.
Well, every week, Saturday, live on Twitter, it'll be like 11:30-ish in the morning. You can find Outside the Box Score. It's back. No more Colorcast. Those guys suck. So all the good Colorcast people left.
Pedos. Yep.
And
they're all pedos.
They've taken it to Twitter. So you'll like, that's where you'll find.
Type beat.
Yeah,
Sorry.
basically. That's where you'll find like Half Ounce, Half Hour, which is one of the best shows on the internet. You'll find Outside the Box Score Saturday around 11:30, where we'll do all the gambling stuff. But Friday, for those that are interested, you will hear these lovely pipes calling his first professional baseball game. That's on the score1260.com, the Score1260 app, or if you're in the Syracuse market, just 12:60 a.m. Pre-game starts at 6:20. Game time 6:35. Me on the call, Syracuse Mets versus the Rochester Red Wings. Well, me and Evan Stockton. I will not be doing it alone. One of the broadcasters is doing a high school football game. They needed someone to step in, so I will be on the call this Friday.
It's all about priorities, man.
Yeah, man.
All about priorities.
AAA baseball, high school football, easy decision to be made.
Yeah. So make sure to listen to Outside the Box Score Saturday when we give you our degenerate picks. And trust me, now that college football is back,
we're getting real.
Degen, just man. Wait until college basketball starts up again.
Oh yeah, that's when when I'm throwing like Coppin State plus 22.5 in there for college basketball. That's what it's
like. Coppin State, man.
Or yeah,
make sure to check that out on Saturdays, and then this Friday, the Score 1260 in the Syracuse area, 12:60 a.m. Elsewhere, it can be the app, it can be the website.
Yep.
Mark is going to be on color commentary, I assume.
I believe so. Might get a couple innings of play-by-play. Evan and Mike usually, alternate. So maybe if he wants to go grab an ice cream or something, you'll have me on play-by-play for a little bit. So that'll be fun.
Good.
Mark's doing the baseball talky thing on against the Rochester Red Wings. So
yep,
that's right.
Little local matchup.
I believe they call it a Thruway Cup series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. This has been another episode of the Hot Stove Podcast. For these two lovely gentlemen, I'm Zach Nunez, and we will see you next time.
Peace.
Yep.